咗幾多和頭酒俾你啊？
Peace never lasts in Wong Fei-hung's world, because the moment he steps into Beijing, he walks straight into a trap that could set all of China on fire. A massive lion dance tournament is being used as a cover for political power games, foreign spies are hiding in plain sight, and a deadly assassination plot is already in motion, aimed at the most powerful man in the empire. But what makes it worse is that the people closest to Wong are already tangled in it. His fiancée is secretly connected to a foreign agent. His allies are turning into enemies. And every step forward pulls him deeper into a conspiracy that no martial artist can simply fight his way out of. By the time Wong realizes what's really happening, the tournament isn't just about honor anymore. It's a battlefield for control of China itself. Before the tournament turns into a bloodbath and the assassination changes history forever, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon for more intense recap like these. The story opens with a grand, sweeping view of the capital during the late Qing dynasty, where the richness of Chinese culture is on full display. Vibrant lion costumes fill the streets as martial artists from across the nation gather for the highly anticipated Lion King tournament. Each troupe performs intricate dances as they await the arrival of the Empress. Soon, Empress Dowager Cixi takes her seat. She talks with Li Hongzhang, the Prime Minister, expressing her growing concern over foreign influence, particularly the reports of Chinese warships being destroyed. Determined to project strength, Empress Dowager reveals her plan to use the Lion King competition to intimidate foreign forces. With that, she announces that 10,000 competitors will battle for the prestigious title of Lion King. Meanwhile, Wong Fei-hung arrives in Beijing with Ant 13 and his student, Lung Fun. As they enter the bustling city, Fun marvels at the crowded Beijing markets, far livelier than Guangzhou. Wong warns him to stay alert. Beneath the vibrancy lies danger. Fun is fascinated by signs of modernization, particularly the foreigners who now speak fluent Chinese. Wong acknowledges this shift and notes that they too may need to learn foreign languages if they hope to navigate this changing world. Their conversation is cut short when Wong realizes that Ant 13 is missing. The two begin searching for her. Fun finds her in the company of a Russian man named Tomanovsky, a former schoolmate from her time studying in Britain. Ant 13 happily introduces him to Wong and Fun. Wong is surprised by his fluent Chinese. Tomanovsky explains that he works as a translator for the British consulate, and mastering the language is essential to his role. The reunion turns awkward when Tomanovsky declares his feelings and kisses Ant 13's hand. Wong immediately pulls her away. As a sign of how much their relationship has progressed, Ant 13 tells Wong to call her by her real name, Sui. Meanwhile, Wong's father, Wong Fei-hung, is at the Cantonese Ten Tigers Association, warmly greeting fellow martial artists. The calm atmosphere is disrupted when he is informed that a group of men is waiting outside, demanding a fight. Waiting for him is a wealthy and arrogant rival martial artist Chu Tinbok, accompanied by his deadly enforcer, Clubfoot. Chu wastes no time issuing a threat. If Elder Wong dares to participate in the Lion King competition, he and everyone close to him will suffer the consequences. The warning escalates into violence. Despite his age, Elder Wong skillfully defends himself against multiple attackers. However, Clubfoot joins the fight, turning the odds. With his unique and devastating footwork, he kicks Elder Wong aside. Chu orders the destruction of all the lion heads Elder Wong had carefully crafted. Not long after, Wong arrives at his father's residence, only to find it in utter disarray and minor injuries his father sustained in the fight. Ant 13 carefully tends to Elder Wong's injuries. While at it, she reveals that their visit wasn't just a simple return home, it was meant to carry joyful news that Wong is to be married. Outside, Fun gathers a group of men, ready to avenge Elder Wong. However, their plan is halted when Wong intercepts them. He orders them to stand down, insisting that they should not escalate the situation. He believes the matter should be resolved by the authorities. Later, Wong and Ant 13 visit his father's medicine factory. For a brief moment, the two share a quiet, intimate exchange. But the moment is short-lived. Workers rush in with the news that 3 Lion King groups are outside the factory, and they are heavily armed. Elder Wong tells Wong that the conflict is tied to rising tensions surrounding the Lion King competition, as there's usually a pre-tournament that determines who gets to represent every region. Wong wastes no time stepping in. He confronts the fighters with swift, precise movements and disarms his opponents one by one, effortlessly neutralizing anyone who dares to challenge him. Once the chaos settles, Wong calls the leaders of the rival groups forward to understand the root of the conflict. He learns that their dispute stems from trying to find out which group is superior. Rather than allowing the rivalry to escalate further, Wong proposes a solution. He invites each leader to spar with him, declaring that anyone who can land 3 hits on him will be considered the better fighter. Despite their efforts, none of them succeed. Seizing the moment, Wong invites them to share wine, encouraging unity over conflict. As they sit together, he addresses problems caused by the Lion King competition. He tells them that the chaos across the capital must be addressed before it spirals further out of control. One of the leaders points out that the tournament is sanctioned by the Empress and Prime Minister, making it nearly impossible to stop. Realizing the complexity of the situation, Wong proposes a different approach. He urges the martial arts groups of Beijing to unite and draft a formal letter to the Empress, stating the unrest spreading through the city. If they can present a united front, perhaps they can persuade the court to reconsider and end the tournament. Wong and Ant 13 deliver the petition to the imperial court. However, Wong senses that the bureaucratic process will take far too long to address the urgency of the situation. Unwilling to sit back while chaos spreads across the capital, he begins searching for alternative ways to restore order. Wong decides to go to the provincial hall in Guangdong. As they travel, the rickshaw carrying Ant 13 suddenly takes a different route, immediately raising Wong's suspicion. Realizing something might be wrong, he rushes after her. Watching from the shadows is Chu, who signals his enforcer to intervene. Clubfoot steps in to block Wong's path, triggering a fierce and intense fight. Despite Clubfoot's dangerous technique, Wong overpowers him, but Wong's path is far from clear. Chu and his men surround him, preventing him from going any further. Instead of attacking immediately, Chu offers Wong a place in his powerful Diaping Lion team. Wong refuses. The rejection sparks another confrontation, but Wong manages to evade them and continue his pursuit. Meanwhile, Ant 13 is rescued by Tomanovsky, who arrives just in time. When Wong finally catches up, he is less than pleased, warning Tomanovsky once again to stop kissing Ant 13's hand. Back at the factory, Ant 13 introduces an exciting new development: a camera. Fascinated by the possibilities, she begins recording demonstrations of martial arts techniques performed by Wong's father and others. Foon suggests that this technology could preserve kung fu for future generations. Wong's curiosity soon turns to irritation when he learns that the device was a gift from Tomanovsky. The realization frustrates him, and he walks away. Ant 13 follows him and tries to explain. She acknowledges his feelings but insists that the camera could be incredibly valuable, regardless of who provided it. Wong gives in to her plea and pulls her into a warm embrace. Ant 13 reminds him that he still needs to speak to his father about their intention to be married before they leave Beijing. Ant 13 takes her camera into the streets to capture the Lion King festival. The atmosphere is vibrant, with countless lion dance troupes moving through the city. But hidden under the lion costumes, rival groups engage in brutal attacks, using the festival as a cover for violent clashes. When Wong notices the chaos, he questions a bystander, who explains that this is common. Groups often weaken their rivals before the main competition begins, turning the event into a battleground for gang conflicts. Amid the confusion, Ant 13 loses her camera in the crowd. As Wong tries to retrieve it, Chu orders his men to attack. At the same time, Foon finds himself targeted by Clubfoot, who chases him into a stable. Thinking quickly, Foon uses his surroundings to his advantage, narrowly escaping while leaving Clubfoot severely injured after receiving kicks from the horses. Elsewhere, the Diaping team claims victory in a pre-tournament event, giving Chu the perfect opportunity to mock Wong. While searching for her missing camera, Aunt 13 begins to notice something unsettling about Tomanovsky and the other Russians. Their behavior feels suspicious. She quietly follows them. She eventually recovers her camera. When Wong catches up with her, Aunt 13 expresses her concern, convinced that something is not right. She believes that if she had arrived earlier, she might have uncovered the truth. A Russian man is dead, and Tomanovsky is talking with his associates. During their conversation, he reveals that the man was a spy who intended to expose them to the Chinese authorities. The group discusses a looming political crisis, a potential treaty between China and Japan that could force Russia into war. To prevent this outcome, they devise a plan to assassinate the Prime Minister. Aunt 13 teaches Wong simple English phrases, including "I love you," without revealing its meaning. The lesson turns humorous when Wong enthusiastically repeats the phrase to everyone he meets, including his father. Even elder Wong joins in the humorous act. Before long, Wong and Aunt 13 are called away for separate matters. Foon approaches Aunt 13 with a secret request. He needs her help finding someone to repair the factory's steam engine without Wong knowing. Meanwhile, elder Wong speaks privately with his son, first sharing news about a new medicine he has developed. However, the mood shifts when Wong reveals that he intends to marry Aunt 13, leaving him stunned. Technically, she is Wong's aunt, and such union is against their tradition. After learning that Clubfoot's leg injury has left him crippled, Chu discards him without hesitation. Back at the factory, Wong encounters Tomanovsky once again while he's working on the steam engine. Aunt 13 explains that his help is necessary, even though she had promised to cut ties with him. Wong, however, refuses to accept the explanation. His frustration grows, and in defiance, he declares that he would rather leave the machine broken than rely on Tomanovsky. The Russian argues that embracing technology is the only way forward, but Wong remains unconvinced. He storms out of the factory. Just outside the factory, Wong discovers Clubfoot in the rain, badly injured and unable to walk. Despite everything that has happened between them, Wong chooses to bring him home to treat his injuries. At first, Clubfoot rejects the help, still clinging to his pride, but Wong calmly explains that without treatment, he will be crippled for life. Faced with that reality, Clubfoot accepts Wong's care and even begins to address him as master, signaling a change in loyalty. Seeing Clubfoot's legs are healed, Chu resurfaces, demanding that Clubfoot be returned to him. Wong refuses to hand him over, insisting that the decision should be Clubfoot's alone. Unable to force the issue, Chu instead invites Wong to his residence for a drink the following day. The invitation feels like a setup, and Wong senses it immediately. That night, he instructs Foon and the others to remain alert and ensure that no one leaves the house. The next day, Wong accepts the invitation, walking straight into what he suspects is a trap. At Chu's residence, he repeatedly insists that Wong take a drink before anything else, raising Wong's suspicion even further. Acting on instinct, Wong throws the drink at one of Chu's henchmen. The liquid burns his face. The room erupts into chaos. Chu's men launch an attack, dousing Wong in oil to make movement difficult before coming at him with axes. Despite the slippery disadvantage, he deflects their strikes with precision, turning their aggression against them. He attempts to escape, only to find the exits sealed. Forced to fight his way out, Wong unleashes a relentless counterattack, eventually able to leave the building. He chases after Chu, but Chu manages to slip away. Aunt 13 makes a crucial discovery. While reviewing the footage captured on her camera, she uncovers evidence of the Russians' assassination plot. She leaves a letter for Wong and sets out to find further proof. When Wong returns and finds her missing, panic sets in. He immediately organizes a search, fearing the worst. Fortunately, Aunt 13 returns safely not long after. Wong rushes to embrace her. Witnessing the depth of their bond, Wong's father begins to reconsider his rigid beliefs. For the first time, he starts to let go of the traditions that stand in the way of their marriage. Aunt 13 reveals what she has uncovered, showing Wong and the others the footage that exposes the conspiracy. With this knowledge, Wong realizes that stopping the assassination is now more important than anything else. To get close enough to intervene, he enters the Lion King competition himself. At the tournament grounds, Wong gathers his disciples and explains the mission. Their goal is to ensure the safety of the Prime Minister. As the Prime Minister lights the ceremonial lantern, the competition officially begins. What follows is a chaotic and electrifying display of martial arts. Wong, Foon, and even Clubfoot, now fighting alongside them, battle through a series of competitors. Around them, performers from across the country showcase diverse fighting styles and techniques, turning the arena into a spectacle of strength and tradition. As the battles intensify, the Russian conspirators prepare their rifle, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Tomanovsky soon notices that Ant 13's camera is pointed in their direction, threatening to expose everything. He immediately moves toward her. Sensing the danger, Ant 13 quickly packs up and flees, leaving Wong's father behind with the remaining equipment. Before she goes, Elder Wong calls her his daughter-in-law, a simple but meaningful acknowledgement of his acceptance. In the arena, Wong continues pushing forward, focused solely on reaching the Prime Minister in time. Meanwhile, Ant 13 is pursued by Tomanovsky, who confronts her and demands to know what she has seen. She refuses to answer and makes a run for it, determined to protect the evidence. Back in the competition, Chu spots Wong and orders his men to kill him, and a desperate race begins toward the towering ladder that leads to the Green Lantern. Wong fights his way upward, knocking Chu's men down as they climb. In retaliation, Chu attempts to destroy the ladder, hoping to stop Wong from reaching the top. Foon notices Tomanovsky chasing Ant 13. He follows her. Tomanovsky demands the camera, and in the struggle, the box breaks open, revealing it to be a decoy filled with medicine. Realizing he's been outsmarted, Tomanovsky is furious. He accuses Ant 13 of betrayal, but she turns it back on him, stating that it is the very camera he gave her that has exposed his plans. Enraged, Tomanovsky draws his gun and attempts to kill her, but Foon intervenes just in time. At the same moment, the assassination attempt unfolds. Amid the noise of fireworks, the Russians fire their shot but miss. With the plan falling apart, Tomanovsky rushes to finish the job himself, only to be stopped with Wong's help and apprehended by the Prime Minister's guards. In a final act of desperation, the Russians turn on their own ally. They shoot Tomanovsky and claim he was a spy working with the Japanese, using him as a scapegoat to cover their tracks. Wong overcomes Chu and his remaining men, ultimately claiming victory in the competition. After the victory, Wong confronts the Prime Minister directly, rejecting the victory. He declares that the tournament has become nothing more than a symbol of Chinese infighting, where lives are lost for spectacle rather than honor. Disgusted by the corruption and the cost of it all, Wong throws the gold medal back and walks away. And that's how the movie ends. If you enjoyed this recap, don't just leave it here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss the next intense breakdown. Because every story we cover here has one thing in common: hidden secrets, rising tension, and moments that change everything in seconds. And trust me, what's coming next might be even more shocking than this one.